Hey everybody, welcome to another video this week. Jeez, all these videos stacked up is pretty crazy. It's the end of October. It's Halloween today. No, I'm gonna get messages like crazy. Anyways, it's the end of October. It's Halloween, and something I haven't talked about lately, and also one of my most popular videos is talking about that Ktaxxon bass. And we'll do it. We're not going to just focus on one for a long period of time. We're going to do two because I bought two guitars that month. I bought the single cut Deluxe from Jaymz, the Les Paul, and I bought the Ktaxxon bass. I bought them both in October. I think beginning of October was the bass, and right, I think the 25th. I think I bought the Jaymz. So it's been a year. So now I guess is the best time to kind of give you my my 2 cents on the whole thing. I'm going to pull my camera down just a little bit, just because I'm probably going to have the things on my lap here, so you'll be able to see them better. As you guys remember, here was the Ktaxxon bass. I still have it. That's the first question. First answer is yes, I still have it. What I've done to it. Nothing really. I didn't modify it, anything. I had it professionally set up not too long after the video that I made, and I have there's some new strings on it. I think they're Roto Sounds. There's Roto Sound strings on it, and it's been set up. Outside of that, there's nothing. I mean, I didn't do anything with pickups, didn't do anything with the knobs. Nothing, no fretwork, nothing. I haven't played bass in a while, but it still plays good. And it still sounds just as good as it did when I first got it. So, after a year, what's my initial thoughts on this thing? It's not changed a bit. I mean, it feels the same as it did a year ago. I've kept it in pretty good condition. I haven't had to clean it as much because obviously that matte finish, it still gets a little bit of dust in between the pickups and whatnot. I conditioned the oil with, conditioned the neck with some lemon oil as normal. And that's about it. I made a few, the guy who tuned it up made a few, minor just tweaks as far as tightening things up. He said the intonation was pretty much spot on, and I didn't really have to do a whole lot to it. The neck was pretty straight. I thought it had a little bit of that bow to it, and if it did then, it doesn't now. The action's still great on it. This is my only, and if I have one concern, one criticism of this thing, and it's not insignificant. I mean, it's kind of a significant complaint. Is it sync the thing? No. Is it, does it make a $70 bass, seem like a $70 bass? Depends on who you talk to, but my biggest problem is, remember I kept talking about that neck being finished, which, again, I still don't know whether or not. I don't think it's got much of anything on it. But the thing that I have a problem with the most is the size of the neck. I don't know if you can see it from here. It doesn't look astronomical, but it is. And I said this initially. I said it's a baseball bat of a neck, right? And it is. I don't have big hands. A lot of bass players with big hands won't have an issue. But I have not, I don't have tiny hands, but I've got just like average medium-sized hand. Long fingers, but not very big of hands. So my son, who's 12 now, his hand's as big as my hand is now. I have problems getting in the proper position. So, I could do it, but I really have to stretch. And I play guitar more anyways now, but even still going back to play bass, just to walk through the first 4 frets on every string is a little bit of a jump. I can't kind of find myself jumping around not putting myself in the classical position. I mean, you don't have to do that. You can play however you want to play. If you just want to sit there and just hammer, with a pick or whatever, hammer on notes, and you're not going to move around a lot, you're not going to stay in there, you're not going to do much walking, don't worry about it. It's fine. If your whole thing is to tune this thing down to like a drop, whatever, and play death metal, and really, really hammer into it, it's fine. If you're really moving around a lot up here, you're going to find it's a little difficult. Other than that, I can't find anything wrong with this thing after a year of having it. Now, I haven't played it exclusively for a year, I'll be honest. I really kind of been playing guitar mostly for the last year. And when I got this, it's kind of on the, I just wanted something, I just wanted it to look cool, it was cheap. And, I thought maybe, hey, my Spectre is not, not doing the best, so maybe I'll get something new that's cheap that I can mess around with, just have a bedroom jammer. I like all black, the flat on black was cool with all the black hardware. But yeah, I would say if you bought one of these and you paid $70 for it, let's say you paid $100, whatever, you definitely got your money's worth. If you've had it, for any length of time, you'll probably notice that the thing holds up pretty good. I mean, we're just talking bedroom house jamming. I'm not, playing with it live. I mean, I sometimes don't even hook up a strap to this thing. Yeah, I mean, I guess, sorry if I don't sound overly enthusiastic about it. It's just that there's nothing, I can't, I knew what it was going in, for the most part. And my only trepidations was, is it going to work? And, am I just throwing my money away? And right off the bat, that answer was no. And as the year, after I got it set up and after I started playing it some more, I realized, no, that money, I mean, it's not. So it's it's hard for me to get overly, animated about something that really isn't been much of a financial setback. I mean, I don't remember the, the $70 went pretty quick on it. Sorry, I was trying to word that differently, but anyways, and I can't admit anything wrong with it. So, if you want one of these and you can still get them, I think you can still get them. Somebody messaged and said something about a Glary, and I said maybe there's a Glary version of this now. I haven't looked for the Glaries and Ktaxxons in a while, so I couldn't tell you if it's still on there. I think it is, though. I guess I should have went and checked, but go on there and just look up Ktaxxon Burning Fire Bass, and you might have to scroll through the different color options to find this option, but it should still be on there, and it should be still relatively the same price. Maybe it went up $10, whatever. But, yeah, like I said, you want a cool looking bass that's cheap, you can't go wrong with that. Now, the guitar I primarily play is the Leo Jaymz. I still have the rock and roll over strap on it. Again, I'm not going to get into a big playing video. Again, I don't like playing on camera. I don't play professionally. And the thing is, like I said, my playing is I like to keep these guitars around. I like to listen to my albums, and when I come across a song, most recently I got Hemispheres by Rush, which I didn't have that one on LP, and of course I know how to play Trees, but I really wanted to learn how to play Circumstances. So I was like, oh, it's got a cool riff to it. I'll figure this out. So I go on Songster and I look at the music. I look and see, take an inventory of the chords I knew. I mean, it uses a lot of your standard open chords, such as the distortion. It uses a G, and it uses a D. It uses an A a lot. There's an A minor in it. Can't remember what else. There's like I said, I don't really bar the whole thing, but I'm supposed to use the F bar chord, and I can't remember. There's a run in it in the pre-chorus, I think, right up to the I'm still trying to get that part, but you can't really hear it, but the I don't have a pick, but then it goes to the B A, and it is the G D G E E D, and then when he's in the chorus, he's like G E E D C C C C C D. And like I said, I primarily play it through my my orange RT35, and sounds amazing. And this one, on the other hand, this one, like I said, 25th of October last year is when I got it. I made the video, I think, that day, and so I watched that video, but it's been a year, and this is the primary guitar that I play. I probably play it every day. And what I've done to it, I had it, again, professionally set up. And it wasn't too off. Didn't need a lot of tweaking. I switched to Ernie Ball skinny top, heavy bottoms, the strings that Paul Stanley endorses. I really like those strings. He give you the 3 heavy, first strings, and then he give you it's like medium gauge on the 3 high strings. And if you want to do, if you want to hit it, crank it, really crank some chords down. I'm not into windmill picking or whatever, but if you really want to bang out a chord and let it just, these strings are awesome. And so the action's still pretty nice on this. It still has, even with it being set up, is it there? It's right there. I think it's the, what is that? The, let's see, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, the 19th fret on the IE. It's a little dead. I said not to worry. I said if it's going to throw everything else out that I normally play, don't worry about it. So he didn't really touch on doing that. He got everything else pretty much fine. Like I said, I play rhythm guitar. I'm into playing the chords of the song, the riffs of the song. I'm not into doing any of the soloing or playing the leads. That's not to say I won't try to tackle them at any point, but I'm all about the rhythm playing. I want to learn how to play the song, and then I can play the song from start to finish, and then play, and sing the verse and sing the choruses and stuff while I'm playing it. But to me, that's what I enjoy, and that's why I love having a nice bedroom jammer around the house, because for that exact reason. Every time I hear a song, I get fixated and stuck on a song for a week or so and really keep playing the crap out of it, trying to get it down. This thing is absolutely perfect. I mean, it looks amazing. I mean, you're looking at it on camera, in person. I mean, every time I look at this thing, whether it's on the stand, I got stands up in the living room at the moment, but whether it's on a stand, whether it's laying on your bed or just sitting up against the amplifier, every time I see this thing, it puts a smile on my face. It's so beautiful to look at. And again, I want to say this. Now that Guitar Center has been bringing all of its high-end stuff down and putting it low for people to actually get to, and I started playing a lot of the Les Pauls there, the standard Les Pauls, the $3,000 Les Pauls at Guitar Center. I gotta say, is this as good as one of those? No. I find it better than the Epiphones, but probably, when you pick up a $3,000 Gibson Standard, it's going to feel a lot better for $3,000, unless you get it on sale or something. So, this was less than $200. Is it the same? No. Is it close? Pretty close. Is it better than the Epiphones for $500? Yeah. Better than Epiphone for $1,500? It's about there, right about there. And with the color, though, I haven't seen one. All of seems like all of the bursts that they have on like the real Gibsons are real dark, and you see a lot of the heavy wood tone. That I find some people might find that appealing. I find it to be unattractive. I like this one, how the yellow, the burst of the yellow, the orange here is really stark, and you see the grain of the wood, but you don't see a lot of these markings and stuff. It's pretty clean, and I like that. I think it just looks more attractive. I think it's brighter looking. Like if you look at this one up against the Cherry Burst Standard Gibson, I find that this one just looks better, looks brighter. A lot of people obviously, when it comes to headstocks, I'm not even going to really touch on the headstock. I mean, I know people talk about they like the open book feel more and whatnot. It's just like, I rarely ever look at the headstock. I don't really care. Most of the time when I look at the guitar, when I'm looking at it, I'm looking at the body of the guitar, the neck. And when you're playing the guitar, I'm really not. I mean, outside of getting it tuned, and this one. So let's go back to how has it held up over a year. Pickups sound same as they always had. They were awesome. Actually, I feel like the pickups have actually, to me, have improved and sound better. I primarily don't use the bridge pickup. I know this might sound a little different from when I talked about the guitar last, but I don't really use the bridge. I don't usually use the rhythm section much anymore. I usually only, I have a setting on everything. And it never changes really, depending on the song. Almost all the songs I play use the same setting. I play with just the bridge pickup. I play with the neck pickup down. That way I can do the, the Detroit Rock City thing. I do that, so I keep this completely down. I turn, obviously, my volume all the way up on the bridge pickup. I turn the tone knob all the way to 10, and then I back it off to about 7, and that's where I leave it. Because I think with the full tone on it, it's a little too much. I like to back it off to about 7. And then the guitar's set. I mean, outside of being on the right pickup, the guitar's set. It doesn't need much more than that. Which is why, at some point, I was thinking about this, and then I was debating on it, and then saying, and I saw one for sale for a decent price. I was going to pick it up and then have my guy put it in. I was going to swap out the stock pickup in the bridge pickup for the DiMarzio Super Distortion, which is a pretty common, I mean, that's probably the most common pickup to go to on this guitar when they switch out on the Les Pauls. I noticed that Paul Stanley does that to all his guitars. A lot of people, they will swap out just that one, so that's why they always see that you've got the cream and black pickup, and then you've still got the chrome cover here. It's because they haven't touched this one. They've just swapped out for the DiMarzio Super Distortion. And I'm sure there's better pickups than that pickup. It's just that is a hot pickup that's kind of tried and true for this, for a Les Paul. So at some point, I probably will swap this out with the Super Distortion. It's not a huge investment. It's $100 for the pickup. My guy will probably put it in for $50. $150, to add that, most likely, right around there. So that's about the only thing I have plans to do. Otherwise, I'm set on the strings. I love the strings. Skinny top, heavy bottom by Ernie Ball. That's what I'm going to stick with. And from there, on the amplifier, on my orange, it's got the classic 3-band EQ. I just go in on my dirty channel. I usually set my dirty channel to like 3, about 2 in the apartment, which is about as loud as I like to get, but I'll set it about 3 in my headphones, and I'll set the gain at about 7, sometimes 6, sometimes I back it up to 6, 7 on the gain, and then my all my 3-band EQ, I just go due north. 50% on the low, medium, and high, and then set. And I put my reverb up to about 4, sometimes 5, and I just leave my reverb set there, and away I go. And like I said, with the same settings on the guitar I use almost all the time, and you will get, if you want that true rock sound, you want to be able to hit that G, that D, I hit that G, right? You'll be able to wham it out, and just it'll ring. The sustain's great. It'll really hit that rock note. You know, you want to do a little bit of, you know, if you, like I said, if Les Paul playing and that rock sound, that 70s rock sound is what you're looking for, an amplifier like that orange amplifier, similar to it, like I said, set with your, don't crank your gain up all that much. I would say crank it up. Some people, 50%'s a little weak. I usually go, if anything, I'm going to stay at 6 out of 10, but a lot of times I'll crank it up to 7, and it's about as far as I'll go in the gain, and then leave everything else in the noon position, and it's fine for me. So, you know, is this thing taking any battle? You know, same for the other one. Has anything taken any battle damage? Not really. I don't think this one's taken any hits. Nothing's coming apart. None of the seams are coming loose. I mean, it still feels as rock solid as it did the day I bought it. And it, like I said, it is a heavy guitar. Solid piece of maple. So what do you, or what is it? Not maple. Mahogany. My brain's going blank. Solid mahogany. I mean, it's going to be a heavy guitar. Yeah, except for the money, I know you can still get these online too. I'm sure you get the other colors. I just personally like this one. If I ever look for another non-Gibson guitar, the only one I'm really looking for, as far as a Les Paul, is a gold top. If somebody, I know Licks Pro makes a gold top. I don't know, maybe I'll check that one out. But if Leo Jaymz makes a gold top, I'm pretty much as good as sold. I'll buy a gold top. I want a gold top for my collection. Other than that, I'm happy with my Cherry Sunburst. You know, black ones are cool, white one would be cool, but for the most part, I think I'm good there. Since then, did I make a video on this? I'm not sure. I have acquired one more Leo Jaymz guitar, and that is the, just because I kind of wanted to have one of these as well. I got an SG. You know, a black or an ebony SG. This one's going to be a little cheaper on the price point. As far as this one, I think when it came out, I think it was like 119. When I got it, it raised the price. So I think it was like 130 when I got it. But it is a bolt-on neck. It is not a neck through. So there's a lot of things that one has that this one's, you know, doesn't have as much. You know, of course, there's always the people which one they like better, the SG or the Les Paul. I'm still probably more of a Les Paul person, but I like my SG. Again, headstock's pretty much still the same. Neck is fine. And I gotta say, as far as baseball necks, neither one of these necks are bad. I think the necks are great. One of the reasons I got an SG was because of this big belly back here, and that one doesn't have a belly cut, and this one doesn't have a belly cut. But I thought, hey, maybe a thinner guitar might feel a little better on the old belly there, and I thought maybe lighter. I weighed this guitar and weighed the Les Paul. This only weighs like a half an ounce less than the Les Paul. So this is not, it's deceptively heavy, I guess, or deceptively light. No, deceptively heavy. It's deceptively heavy. It sounds, you know, the sound sounds like an SG. I mean, like I said, there was an SG, a real one at the Guitar Center. I was playing it, and then I was playing this, and you know, for $1,800 for the real SG, it didn't sound much better. Didn't feel much better. It's incrementally. I would say again, follow the same suit. This feels like a higher. This feels like a Epiphone version of either guitar. And again, I also did switch. I was going to go with a different set of strings just for a different set of playing, but I just fell in love with those skinny top, heavy bottoms. So that's what's on here too. Same strings that are on the Les Paul, and I primarily play a lot of my Blue Oyster Cult on this because Eric Bloom plays an black SG. I was even going to put a Blue Oyster Cult symbol there at some point, but maybe not. But I got this just because I kept seeing it and it kept selling out, and I was like, darn it, I want one of those before I can't get one anymore. So I ended up buying one. And, you know, it's not that I regret the decision. The money that I spent for this and what it's is absolutely fine. I mean, I would say it's the same as the other guitars. You know, whether or not I needed one or not is a different situation. That's the question, which has nothing really to do with the guitar itself. It has to do with me. But and I do the same thing. I primarily use the bridge pickup, turn the neck pickup down, and I set my tone, or set my volume at 10 and my tone about 7. And I played all similar settings on the amplifier, and you know, when I play my Blue Oyster Cult, I just feel like I'm playing Blue Oyster Cult. Does that make sense? I mean, that's primarily why I want. It's like, I just want to play. You know, I know Buck Dharma played a Les Paul and stuff, but I'm playing more Eric Bloom's lines. I'm not playing the leads. I'm playing the rhythm, and for the most part, he's played other guitars, but for the most part, Bloom plays a black SG, so gotta have black SG. I mean, I love the looks of it. It's a great looking guitar. So that's the new one, and this one's about, maybe, I got this for my birthday, July. So this is almost 6 months old. It's about 4 months old now. So we'll talk about that one in, you know, July of next year, and tell you what my opinion is on how it's held up. But those are my 3 primary guitars. Outside of I still have my classical acoustic, but you know, obviously I like black and I like flames. Sorry, still got that cough. But yeah, I mean, it's just funny how I kind of gravitate to a lot of the same looking things. But anyway, those are the guitars. Those are my opinions on them. You know, like I said, if you watch these videos since I posted them with the Ktaxxon video, and then with the Leo Jaymz and the, you know, of course I didn't make one about the, at least I don't think I did, about the SG. Maybe no, I don't think I did. You know, this is the follow-up. I mean, this is a year after having them, in my opinions. And, you know, I got my money's worth. I mean, on that bed, you're talking, there are 3 guitars, 2 electric guitars on the bass. You're looking at, what, $400? $450 at the most? It's not a lot of money. You know, it's the price of one okay guitar. You know, one intermediate guitar. I got 3 guitars, and they play 3 different. You know, I can play bass guitar, I can play guitar, or a regular guitar, and then I can have a little bit of a variation there. And you know, what else do you need for that kind of money? And even if you're only into it for a year and you spend $400, and then you end up selling it off to somebody and getting half your money for it, I mean, you still got your money's worth. So I can't stress enough. If you're on the fence, or you're considering it, or it's something you're thinking about, put all of your worries, fears, whatever aside, and just buy the stuff. I'm not, you know, if you can't afford it, don't buy it. I'm not trying to say go out and spend money you don't have, but it's not a lot of money. And trust me, I don't have a lot of money, and I'm not getting. I've got $0 for talking about these guitars. I paid for these guitars all myself out of my own pocket, and nobody gave me any money. Nobody's, you know, told me what to say. Yada yada yada. And I'm just saying that, you know, if you're looking for this type of thing, and you know, it's whether it's just a pipe dream, whether it's just, you know, kind of you just want to have a fantasy of rocking out in your bedroom, you know, rocking out in your house, or maybe you do want to go out and play. You know, I don't think you can do wrong. You know, if you're going to primarily focus on guitar and you're going to dabble, then maybe just get a guitar or a bass or vice versa. You know, that type of thing. But I don't know. If you got any more questions, of course, let me know. You know, because people did ask some questions over the year, and they wanted. It seems like a lot of the questions they were asking was where they could get it. And again, you get these on Amazon. Whether or not any of them are still available, I'm going to say probably yes, without looking it up. But like I said, you got a Ktaxxon bass, which is KT. Well, if you need, just look up Ktaxxon, Ktaxxon, and then just put in like Burning Fire, and it should pop up. Leo Jaymz Les Paul or Leo Jaymz single cut, whatever you want to call it, and that should pop up, or electric guitar. I'm pretty sure these are all available, and they might even have new stuff that's even different now. More models. So, yeah. All right, I'm gonna let you go. So I keep babbling on for another half an hour. We're at a half an hour, so let's end it there. All right. Got any questions about it? Let me know. I hope that you enjoyed the follow-up, just to kind of show you where it's at after a year, and I will get you on the next one. All right. Talk to you then. Bye bye.